Thank you, Mal. It's now my pleasure to welcome the Assistant Minister for Health, Mr Ken Wyatt. As the first Indigenous Australian with ministerial responsibilities for health, we're delighted that you can be here today representing the Prime Minister. Indigenous Australians suffer disproportionately from rare or less common cancers, and we're hopeful that Can Recall will be particularly relevant to both urban and outback communities. Please welcome the Assistant Minister for Health, Mr Ken Wyatt.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Kate Vines and Richard for inviting me here today and for all the work that she does in supporting people diagnosed with rare and less common cancers. I can relate to that footage you showed at the beginning because my own mother, when she went to her GP and he said to her she had cancer, she rang me and I said, "So what questions did you ask?" And she said, "None." And I said, "So what was your reaction?" And what she focused on was the clock in the room and just watched the second hands tick around. When I sat with her later, I gave her a list of questions to go back and ask. And I think the beauty of the work that you've done is you're giving people the opportunity to ask. I'm especially pleased to be here in my capacity as Assistant Minister for Health and would like to make it clear that I'm firmly committed to delivering a 21st century healthcare system that ensures patients have access to the right care at the right time and at the right place. We are a government seeking to embrace the future and new technologies such as the Can Recall app that we are here to launch today is an appropriate step forward. This innovative app has been designed to support patients suffering from rare and less common cancers, helping them understand their diagnosis and interpret their consultations with their specialists. Support like this is particularly important because, as we all know, patients diagnosed with cancer are often confronted with vast quantities of life-changing information at a time of great stress. They are also under pressure to communicate details of their condition and treatment to the family and friends. This can be a harrowing experience, and I imagine the frustration of not recalling or clearly understanding a clinician's word during a consultation only adds to what is already a difficult time. In providing a structured mechanism in which a patient can communicate questions and record answers, the Can Recall app helps elevate that burden. This technology will see cancer patients granted the ability to assess a range of decks of questions that they might wish to ask their clinician. It is also anticipated that in time the app will allow for varied question decks based on cancer type, and that from the onset individual patients will be able to customise a deck for a specific consultation. There would initially be sets of questions for an oncologist, surgeon and a radiologist. The basic mechanism will be that as patients flicks to a question and asks it, the app will record both question and the answer and timestamp the recording for easy and subsequent retrieval. On concluding the consultation, patients will then be able to replay and share the consultation with family and friends as they choose. They'll also be able to play back the questions and answers selectively, ensuring they and their family are fully informed and better equipped to deal with their disease. As I mentioned earlier, this government is not seeking to proof itself against the future, and we are seeking to embrace it. It is great to see Rare Cancers Australia taking the same approach and embracing technology and innovation to support patients. I congratulate you and acknowledge that your vision and insight will be an important aid in the way in which many members who experience a cancer will be able to share the information with their family, go back and reconsider the advice that they have been given, but more importantly, develop an understanding in which their own social and emotional well-being will be catered for in a way that could not be catered for whilst they're facing that first set of words that you have an inoperable cancer or you have cancer. And to have the vision and foresight to develop what you have is a tremendous opportunity that you've given every single Australian to manage both the information they're provided but also the future that they will have to cope with in the changes that will occur in their life. And it gives me great pleasure to launch Can Recall, and congratulations.